after a serious injury or illness. Good evening. It's now estimated 50 million Americans are living with chronic pain. Severe headaches, arthritis, and back problems are among the leading culprits. But it's only recently that modern medicine has begun to aggressively treat pain, no matter what the cause. Like here at the new University Pain Center in New York, affiliated with the widely respected St. Vincent's Hospital. Tonight you're going to see dramatic advances in surgery and new precision drugs, painkillers just now becoming available. We start with Bill Lagatuda in the story of one man who is ready to risk everything for relief.
You ready then? Okay, get your backpack and all that.
On good days, Robert Garcia likes to help his 11-year-old daughter.
Ready, Nikki?
Uh-huh.
And 8-year-old son.
You got everything?
Yeah.
Get ready for school.
Take care, okay?
On bad days,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Robert wishes he was never born. Robert suffers from reflex sympathetic dystrophy, RSD.
Robert, look at me, sweetie. Are you okay?
A degenerative neurological disorder, which in Robert's case
Oh my God.
causes spasms of unbearable pain.
Hurry up.
The pain is a burning, sharp pain. It's so sharp, it feels like a knife just cutting me.
Robert is 33. His problems began innocently 7 years ago when his right leg started to hurt.
What did the doctors tell you was wrong with you?
Could be cartilage, torn cartilage.
But Robert's condition got worse and worse. He was forced to quit his job as a machinist and work full-time on coping with his pain.
Do you have pain every day?
Yes,
All the time?
all the time.
Powerful painkillers provide only minor relief,
It's very hard to do things, you know, to function well.
and the drugs slur his speech and leave him exhausted. And not even surgery has helped.
How has this changed your life?
Oh, it's changed it drastically. I was the one who was working. At that time, my wife wasn't. I loved what I was doing. I was very active in sports. Go, Nicole!
And Robert wants desperately to be active again.
Go, go! Go, Nicole!
He worries that his pain is even more painful for his family.
There's a lot of sadness in our family. They're living with me and they're watching me, you know, in the pain that I go through. It gets me very upset, you know.
You thirsty?
When he's in pain, it's hard to see him like that.
You want to get some air or something?
Yeah.
Robert's wife, Raina, once a full-time mom,
You okay with the wind?
is now the breadwinner in the family.
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating to see him suffering so much, and nothing I can do but give him his medicine. That's not going to help.
On the day we were there, it happened again. Robert's pain triggered another spasm.
What goes through your mind when you're dealing with this pain?
Sadness. You know, I just want it to end, you know.
We have to be very careful where we do the operation.
Now, meet the man who hopes he can do just that, put an end to Robert's pain forever.
When the patient comes to see a physician like myself, most of the times are extremely depressed and with a chart the size of a telephone book and of things that didn't work.
His name is Dr. Jacob Chodakowicz.
We do an opening here in the chest and
For the past 14 years, Chodakowicz, a neurosurgeon and professor at the University of California, has been performing a procedure called deep brain stimulation, or DBS.
The electricity travels into the head and then here connects to the brain electrode.
This is what the doctor will put in Robert's brain. A tiny electrode connected to a long, thin wire. The wire will run from the brain down the back of Robert's neck and into his chest, where the doctor will implant a tiny generator like this one. It looks like a pacemaker. When it's switched on by remote control, it sends an electric pulse up the wire into the brain, and if all goes well, Robert won't feel the pain anymore. You're convinced, doctor, that this is a viable operation when it comes to curing pain?
Absolutely.
But Chodakowicz cautions that deep brain stimulation should be considered only as a last resort. Even then, there's a 50-50 chance it won't stop the pain. And there's no room for error.
a millimeter or two away from where we want to be, you might end up with a paralyzed patient.
It's a risk that Robert Garcia is willing to take.
We're talking brain surgery here.
Yes.
Risky?
Very risky. Because this pain is getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know what else to do. This is my last chance, and I have to do this.
Robert will take that big risk
Make sure he stays straight.
later on 48 Hours.
I'm just hoping the surgery works like we want it to.
Hi. How you doing?
You look handsome, puppy.
Just ahead, she conquered her pain to win Olympic gold. Now, Peekaboo Street is inspiring another young woman.
I might be able to walk again.
How high can inspiration take you?
We don't like people telling us we can't do things. Right.
That's next.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
Reporter Steve Everett has a bad reputation.
You're the guy who led that crusade to get the rapist released, aren't you?
A troubled past.
He was a drunk then, he isn't now.
And a nose
Did you kill that woman or not?
for the truth.
Now, come on, there was somebody, wasn't there?
Do you want your opinion of reporters who have hunches?
Clint Eastwood.
They're gonna kill the guy tonight.
Do you believe us?
Yes, I believe you.
True Crime. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 19th.
Some of us know we can keep going when bad things happen, because we've got someone who'll help make things right again. Being in good hands is the only place to be.
Courage, something shared by countless Americans. Those who risked their lives, those who battled serious illness. When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I was primarily concerned with ridding myself of the cancer. But secondly, I was concerned about possible post-operative side effects like erectile dysfunction, ED, often called impotence. You know, it's a little embarrassing to talk about ED, but it's so important to millions of men and their partners that I decided to talk about it publicly. And after all, it can be associated with many conditions, including prostate surgery, high blood pressure, diabetes, or even smoking. And the point I want to make is there are many treatments available for ED, so my advice is get a medical checkup. It's the best way to get educated about ED and what can be done to treat it. It may take a little courage, but I've always found that everything worthwhile does.
Out here and practically everywhere else, people are using 1010-9000 because it's the easy way to find a phone number.
I'll tell you why I use it, because now I don't have to remember area codes. There's too darn many, and they keep on changing.
Well, that's one good reason. Any others?
Yep, I like the 1010-9000 operators. Sure beats talking to a machine.
No area codes to remember and nice people to help you. Life is definitely getting better.
You got that right.
For once. 1010-9000. Directory assistance for everyone in America.
CBS presents one family's epic struggle through the seasons of a lifetime, starring Peter Strauss.
I was out to make a man of you, and I did.
And Rachel Ward.
I have no regrets.
Seasons of Love, CBS Sunday.
Kick out in my head, push 1, 2,
28-year-old Olympic skier Peekaboo Street once hardly could imagine any physical limits. Now, it's agony to even move her legs.
Play hard to pay hard, you know?
Flashback to the '98 Olympics.
Peekaboo Street, into the lead.
Where she astounded the crowds by bouncing back from a serious knee injury to win the gold.
It was my dream come true. What I had always dreamt of all my life.
Cheering her on was Dr. Richard Stedman, the surgeon who'd put her knee back together just a year before.
She's shown that she can come back from almost anything.
But just a month later, a truly horrific crash. And this time, she mangled both her legs.
That crack right along there is the major break.
3 weeks after surgery at Dr. Stedman's clinic in Vail, Peekaboo Street faced a new struggle with the same fierce determination that served her on the slopes.
It's like the same thing with fear. You just replace it with the task at hand.
Now relax.
By a remarkable coincidence, sitting right next to her in physical therapy was a young woman who knew all about Peekaboo's determination.
You're the main reason that I'm here. I'm a very high-risk knee case.
Until this moment, they'd never met. But Peekaboo already had begun to change the life of 32-year-old Rebecca Olivares.
And when I saw you win the gold medal in the Olympics and hug Dr. Stedman.
Inspired by watching Peekaboo's Olympic victory, Rebecca came to Stedman's clinic.
No one would touch my legs, and so Stedman was willing to.
For the operation she hoped would be the turning point.
Look, I might be able to walk again.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
You know, she's looking at potentially being able to walk again for the first time in a long, long time in her life.
Just a year and a half before, Rebecca, too, was leading an active life.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rebecca Olivares.
She'd been a local news anchor,
in the news today,
then a management consultant. But after a knee operation, Rebecca developed RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, a version of the nerve disorder that ravaged the life of Robert Garcia. Now it's spread to both her legs.
This side is the side that I can't touch. You see, that's like an electric shock.
How about that?
At the pain center at Texas Tech in Lubbock,
Bottom right-hand corner of my kneecap.
Dr. Leland Liu offered her pain management.
What you try to do is get someone to the point where the pain is not their main focus.
A regimen of therapy, drugs, and surgical procedures, including electrical stimulation applied directly to her spine. For more than temporary relief, though, doctors said she needed another knee surgery.
If we can get her knee repaired, she can maybe walk on her own without using her crutches.
But catch-22, no surgeon would do it for fear of aggravating the RSD.
It was all gloom and doom. Everyone said there's nothing we can do. You know, this is as good as it gets.
No surgeon, that is, until Dr. Stedman agreed to operate on one of Rebecca's knees.
And Stedman's real hopeful for me. And so it was the first time in a year and a half that anyone has any positive news about my knee. It feels wonderful. So your goal did it.
I feel very lucky to be the one who stimulated that for you. I'll pray for you.
Thanks.
But for both, real success proves elusive. Just a week after she returns home to Texas, Rebecca is hurt in a freak car accident. The injury, this time to her neck, sends the RSD into overdrive.
we were this close to being a slam dunk game as one.
So now she faces another round of surgical procedures. This is the 26th in the past year.
We got my game face on.
Meanwhile, after 6 months of steady progress,
I've been off crutches for about 3 months now.
Peekaboo Street wrenches her knee getting out of a car, sending her in for another operation.
I just cried like a little kid.
For the year we've kept up with them, we've kept Peekaboo and Rebecca informed about the other's progress. And soon, they began checking up on each other.
I think about her a lot when, especially when I went in yesterday in pre-op. I thought about her and I thought, she just had 2 neurovascular operations. Her life is this all the time. So I don't have the right to be sitting here with my bottom lip out.
Tell me if it hurts.
I know she wouldn't be.
Okay, it hurts.
Okay.
Rebecca's doctors haven't been able to do as much as they'd hoped.
Yeah, you can...
At that point, I have to confess, it was looking quite dismal. I didn't know where we were going.
With the doctors stumped, Rebecca and Peekaboo come up with their own bold plan of attack.
We both kind of talked about getting away, and that's when she went, well, let's do a spa. She calls me back, she goes, you're not gonna believe what they have there. And she's talking about, I'm gonna climb this wall because I love rock climbing, it's my passion.
She goes, we're climbing that wall, girl.
They retreat to this Arizona spa in January. Peekaboo's mother, Dee, takes our camera along.
We don't like people telling us we can't do things. Right. No, we're going to do it.
For 2 years, she'd been walking on crutches.
Do it.
Now, with Peekaboo cheering her on,
all right, girl.
It's up to Rebecca to do for herself what doctors have been unable to do for her.
Beautiful.
I mean, her legs were shaking.
It definitely hurt going up there. I don't think I've ever pushed myself that strong.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
But there was a transformation for a few minutes there. I wanted to conquer that wall, RSD and all.
There you go.
I think she was able to do it because she needed to prove to herself, I have a life still. I can do it.
It confirmed for me the power the mind can do and the power of faith.
Way to go!
More than any medical procedures. And it was all thanks to Pete.
I'm proud of you.
Peekaboo, who hopes to be skiing by October, says inspiration is now a two-way street.
This happened to me so that I could meet Rebecca. I broke my leg and blew my right knee out so that I could meet Rebecca Oliveras and be blessed with a friendship that's as unconditional and powerful.
What it's done for me is that I know, even though there's no cure for RSD, that I will be in pain for the rest of my life. There's still no doubt in my mind that I'm going to beat this thing.
Yes!
Next,
I'm starting to panic a little bit.
the last best hope for Robert.
Please count for me. 1, 2, 3.
Will this risky operation give him a life free of pain?
If you lose your concentration for a moment, you may lose your patience.
Just ahead.
Is everything good?
He brought us to the brink and back. I'm Susan Spencer, CBS News, with tonight's Person of the Century.
Sponsored by the new Dodge. It's about change.
Over the years, a lot of businesses have put their names on one line of trucks, the one that's overall the most powerful line of pickups on the road, the one that was first to offer quad cab versatility, and the first and only full-size pickup to receive J.D. Power & Associates' Most Appealing Award 4 years running. We understand this name faith. We're pretty fussy about what we put ours on, too. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
In the hottest encounter of the Cold War, President John Kennedy faced down the threat of Soviet missiles in Cuba with a naval blockade. He got the Soviets to back down and to sign a nuclear test ban treaty. JFK, one of the most important people of the century. 48 Hours will return.
If your home could use a little TLC, come to Ace for the I Love My Home sale. There's lots to love, including the prices. Ace is a place for the helpful hardware folks.
Give it up. Your Colonel's got the moves this NCAA season, because my popcorn chicken's back at KFC. Crunchy morsels of tender white meat. Try some for $1.99. Go, Colonel. Go, Colonel. The Colonel, he the man.
Always seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine in.
Have you seen Transitions lenses lately? Indoors, the changing tint is clearer. Outdoors, they're the darkest Transitions lenses ever. For all-day comfort and convenience, Transitions lenses, right in any light. Now available at Pearl Vision. Call 1-800-YES-EYES for the Pearl Vision nearest you. Nobody cares for eyes better than Pearl.
Don't be a drip. I'm not. I color with the cream that doesn't drip. New Excellence Cream from L'Oreal, the non-drip color cream. Of course it protects, always has. But New Excellence is even better, with a ceramide and protein formula to revitalize your hair for rich color, incredible body, more oomph. And does it ever cover grays? Not that I ever had any. New Excellence Cream from L'Oreal, because I'm worth it.
Does this look like a war zone? It is a gas price war zone.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I love it.
Sure, they love it. The competition is fierce, and the customer's the big winner. So how low can they go and still make a profit? The answer may surprise you. Eye on America, tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
CBS presents a story for anyone who's had to start all over again.
I want someone to cut off George's end, Dad.
Mary McDonald, Tippi Hedren, replacing Dad. CBS March 14th.
I want to be mentally prepared, but I thought I was, but it's just like I'm starting to get nervous, panic a little bit.
It's the night before Robert Garcia's brain surgery, and he's got a lot on his mind.
If I don't make it, what's going to happen to my kids and to Reina?
Raina is Robert's wife.
I think it's nerves, just like anyone has before they go into surgery.
How complex is this particular area that you're operating on?
It's extremely complex.
Dr. Jacob Chodakowicz will perform the surgery,
Hold it strong.
called deep brain stimulation, at the Kaiser Permanente Hospital in Los Angeles. If the operation works, Robert will never have to go through this again. He's tried everything to get rid of his constant, agonizing pain. The operation tomorrow is his last hope.
We are trying to do the best that we can for a situation that's essentially hopeless.
And on this, the night before, where is the brain surgeon? Chodakowicz is a black belt in karate and says this kind of discipline will help him remain focused during the long operation tomorrow.
When you're practicing karate and you're confronting another black belt, you know that a little mistake, you might lose your teeth. When you are doing an operation like this, if you lose your concentration for a moment, you don't lose your teeth, you might lose your patient.
Roberto Garcia. Okay.
Relax, Robert. Just relax.
Robert's insurance will pay for this operation, but only because he has a chronic tremor in his right hand.
Make sure he stays straight.
Currently, the electrode used in deep brain stimulation is only FDA approved for treating tremors.
We'll be done in a moment, Robert, okay?
It has yet to be approved as a treatment for pain alone.
I feel like RoboCop.
In my opinion, this is a tragedy because there are many more people with pain that could get benefit by this operation.
Many thousands of people with all kinds of chronic pain, according to Chodakowicz.
Okay, so we are ready. I'll see you there in a moment.
As Robert gets ready for his surgery, his family waits nearby.
You look handsome, puppy.
Do you feel like your life's going to change after today is over?
Yes, I hope so. I'm just hoping the surgery works like we want it to. We're very hopeful.
Robert's mother, Rosa.
I love him so much, and I don't even want to think that if something happens to him, I don't think I could bear.
Hey, Robert.
After studying Robert's MRIs and after seemingly endless calculations, Chodakowicz begins the first part of the operation.
Okay.
He guides a thin metal tube toward what he hopes is the precise spot in Robert's brain that's linked to the tremor in his right hand.
Robert!
Yes.
Remarkably, Robert must be awake during the entire operation.
Please count for me. 1, 2, 3. Keep going, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, pain, you don't see it. It's something that only the patient can tell you. You feel that?
Yeah.
This one.
And that's why it's important the patient is awake?
Yes, otherwise we won't know. We'll be totally blindfolded. What do you feel?
Shaking.
Like shaking?
Yeah.
A little more than an hour into the operation, something amazing seems to happen.
Touch that finger, please, with your hand.
The tremor in Robert's right hand begins to lessen. A few minutes later, it stops altogether.
You feel the difference now?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first time in years, Robert's hand is not shaking.
Okay.
Now comes the tough part, finding the spot in Robert's brain that will relieve his pain.
Okay, what I'm doing at this point is inserting the microelectrode.
A generator is hooked up which sends a mild electrical
Yes.
charge to the electrode in the brain.
Do you feel any tingling?
Just a tiny.
Where?
Right arm.
Right arm? That's very good news.
That is good news. The mild tingling that Robert's feeling is what will eventually, if all goes well, replace his pain.
Good. That's what we wanted.
Numbing and buzzing, huh?
Buzzing, I can't really explain it. It's something.
That's fine. You're doing great.
Like pins and needles a little bit?
I feel like, not pain, but, you know, can't explain the
Something
pressure.
weird.
Yeah, something weird, yeah.
And then, 4.5 hours into the surgery, another remarkable moment.
Give me a number for how much pain you have in the arm.
Nothing.
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 That's it. No tremor and basically no pain.
After 7 years, the pain that ruled Robert's life is gone.
Excuse me.
Hello. All okay. He's fine. He's awake and with no pain. And we're not shaking.
Robert's family can hardly believe it.
Is everything good?
Thank you.
¿Se está bien o aguantarse?
Oh, thank God.
See, I told you.
Yeah, I know.
Just 10 days after his surgery,
Now I feel great.
This is cute.
You know, I'm pain-free, actually. You know, I don't feel any pain.
Robert was back doing things with his family.
I can see that he's happier and he's feeling better.
Adam, Nikki.
Well, it's different because my dad doesn't get the pain. We get to do more things together.
Ordinary things. For Robert, that's extraordinary.
I want to go on with my life. I want to work, and I'm going to try to be as productive as I can towards my family. Before, I didn't see that chance. I didn't see that future for me. I feel like a complete person.
It is a new person.
100%.
Coming up,
Dull, throbbing,
Sharp burning.
sharp pain.
millions of people's lives are disrupted by crippling headaches, including Adam.
It's the worst pain you can have in the world.
But now there is new hope for relief.
A migraine patient can now take one of these medicines and have a normal day.
That's next.
Yoo-hoo! Excuse me. Who, me? Need some help on those colors? Perhaps you'd like to meet bleach-free Clorox 2.
Up here in the green, I'm bleach-free. I remove stains like she does.
But instead of bleach, she's got enzymes.
Ooh, I like it.
Bleach-free Clorox 2, a bleach-free breakthrough that works with enzymes to remove stains and keep colors bright.
Look at these colors. You did great, bleach-free.
That's my job.
Bleach-free Clorox 2.
I work out to keep my body in shape. To help keep my mind sharp, I take new Quantera Ginkgo biloba. It helps me concentrate, maintain focus. Why Quantera? All ginkgos aren't the same. The patented Quantera extract was proven safe and effective by doctors in extensive clinical trials. And it increases oxygen supply to the brain. With new Quantera mental sharpness, I feel my best, naturally. If it's not clinically proven, it's not Quantera.
There isn't a magic pill out there.
48 hours, painkillers.
And for each individual patient, we hope to find their answer.
Will continue.
Does this look like a war zone? It is a gas price war zone.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I love it.
Sure, they love it. The competition is fierce, and the customer's the big winner. So how low can they go and still make a profit? The answer may surprise you. Eye on America, tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Tonight, this is big-time funny. Billy Crystal's horsing around.
You are a stallion.
Plus, can Monica mend her rep?
Become the U.S. ambassador to Grabaslavia.
And know your current events.
How is Monica Lewinsky hoping to publicize her book? Word of mouth.
Tonight.
I'm not just the host of The Late Show. I am your sexual soulmate.
Samo and Arsenio go undercover as convicts in a rock'em sock'em martial law. CBS Saturday.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
AIDS. It's killed millions of people, but now there's new hope. I'm Dana King. See how historic tests being done here in the Bay Area could be the first steps in defeating HIV. Tonight at 11 on Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
I've been asked to have a meal by a big tycoon in steel. If the meal includes a deal, except I'm but I'm always true to you, darling, in my fashion. Yes, I'm always true to you, darling. Darling, in my way.
Car insurance. You have to get it. You can't skimp on it. And you hope you never use it. What a concept. Well, I guess that's why I'm with 20th Century. See, I'm a good driver, and they figure good risk. So I get great insurance without having to pay the great insurance prices. And I feel better knowing that what I'm not using is the very best. 20th Century Insurance. Smart.
Maggie Brown almost died today, but not fighting a fire. Her new doctor prescribed a drug that could have a fatal interaction with the medication she's already on. She forgot to tell him about it. Rite Aid's Life Check computer caught it instantly. No one makes more safety checks than Rite Aid. Life is filled with enough risks. Going to the drugstore shouldn't be one of them. Rite Aid, it's not just a store, it's a solution.
This news break is brought to you by Sleep Train Mattress Centers, your ticket to a better night's sleep.
If you could learn how to reduce your level of stress, say with the help of a biofeedback machine like this one, you just might be able to reduce your level of pain as well. Now that's just one approach among the expanding options to relieve pain. By one estimate, 45% of Americans will seek relief from chronic pain at some point in their lives. And these days, a greater understanding of how pain travels through the body is leading to a surge in new pain-killing drugs. Some are designed to block pain signals at the source. Not a moment too soon for millions of people who suffer from chronic headaches, often a nightmare, crying out for relief. Here's Harold Dow.
Most of the time, Adam Buxman is a normal 14-year-old.
Bus driver doesn't like us listening to CDs.
An 8th grader from Hannibal, Missouri.
Game on!
Who likes to hang around with his friends.
I enjoy playing football, basketball, snowmobile stuff.
But every 8 days or so,
It all starts off with a burning itch.
Adam gets a headache. But calling it a headache,
it's the worst pain you can have in the world,
doesn't do it justice. It's a severe migraine.
Feels like your head's gonna explode. Pain.
That only Adam can describe.
You just want to die.
Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your headaches as
14.
far as pain goes?
14.
I said 10. You said 14.
Yeah.
What Adam Buxman is describing is a pain so powerful, so profound, it can be crippling. And it happens more than you might think. In fact, 45 million Americans endure chronic, recurring headaches, and 23 million of them suffer from migraines. That's 1 in every 12 people.
It's always behind my left eye, and it's a throbbing, and my eye feels like it wants to pop out.
Merle Diamond
Let's go see people.
has suffered from migraines since her teens. In fact, migraines usually start at puberty.
Once or twice a year, you know, it hits me hard enough that I don't move, and I lose that day.
Migraines are 3 times more common in women.
How much headache you have. Good morning. And how severe you are, part of it's luck of the draw, and part of it's how you live your life.
She should know. She's a doctor.
How long had you had the headaches for?
A headache specialist in Chicago at the Diamond Clinic, which was started by her father.
Any side effects from your medication? 90% of the population has a headache on some time or another. Most of that is garden variety tension type headache. Migraine is a different bird. It's disabling. It puts you to bed.
A migraine headache is born in the brainstem, in the trigeminal nerve. Somehow, and doctors don't know why, the nerve gets activated and triggers the release of a brain chemical that causes blood vessels in the brain to swell. Other chemicals are released which cause inflammation around the blood vessels. That's what's believed to cause intense throbbing pain. A migraine.
It starts slow. I've had it for about 11 years. It's a pounding feeling. Dull, throbbing.
Sharp burning.
Sharp pain. It's really hard to be in pain all the time. I was just sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, I just got hit with...
Adam Buxman got his first migraine headache just over a year and a half ago.
You rock and roll, buddy?
Were you afraid?
Extremely. I didn't know what's going on.
Today, Adam and his mother, Karen, are off to Chicago.
Trying to leave with or without us.
To consult with Dr. Diamond.
I just couldn't imagine that you could have that much pain and live.
Adam's migraines are so severe, they attack day and night.
Sleeping, at school, out playing.
Our whole family cycle began to rotate around these pain episodes.
7th grade, I missed 6 out of 9 months. This year I missed 3 out of 9.
So when we first saw you, you were having a headache about every...
But his mom worries about the future.
Would this ever be so debilitating to him that he would ever want to consider taking his life? And I could understand why that would cross somebody's mind.
Her concern is not unreasonable.
Never heard the word headache with Bobby.
Robert Detling's 22-year-old son, Bobby, a recent college graduate,
It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
got a migraine that didn't improve.
All of a sudden, he starts putting his hand to his head and starts crying. And I asked him what's wrong, and then he told me he had a headache.
It didn't go away.
It was one headache, singular.
Not for 3.5 years.
It started in December of '93, and every waking hour, he had a headache, non-stop.
Bobby grew increasingly depressed.
He just described it as excruciating pain.
When medication couldn't relieve his pain.
Here's the picture of him just 4 days before he died. And you got to see the true Bobby with the headache right here.
On June 19th, 1997, Bobby Detling took his life.
Here's where Bobby's buried.
Bobby shot himself to stop the pain.
I have reached my breaking point. All attempts to relieve my chronic pain have ended in failure. And since there is no hope, suicide is my only choice.
He was 25 years old.
You weep for them. I think it breaks your heart. There isn't a magic pill out there. There are options available for people, and for each individual patient, we hope to find their answer.
These are mine.
Adam's answer may lie in an array of drugs he takes to prevent a migraine.
This is Migranol.
And drugs he can take at the onset of pain.
Once into each nostril without.
For Merle Diamond,
Take it easy.
relief has come from a new family of drugs called triptans.
Bye. They've really changed the face of migraine. A migraine patient can now take one of these medicines, go to work, and have a normal day.
And according to the experts, your lifestyle matters too.
Patients who exercise regularly have 50% less migraine and tension-type headache. So being good to your body means your body will be good to you.
I'm hungry.
Dr. Diamond believes there's hope for everyone, including Adam.
What I'm aiming for is a life without headaches, but for right now, I'm imagining month and a half without, and that would probably be a great milestone for me.
Just ahead.
I'm afraid to write a prescription.
Why are so many doctors afraid to provide the most effective pain remedies?
The doctor's license could be lifted, and so their livelihood could be lost.
When the doctor refuses to help.
I sat in front of doctors with tears in my eyes, begging for help.
Coming up.
Okay, item 7. Who requested separating seats?
We did. It falls under the personal space clause.
I have no problem with that.
Me neither.
Good.
Well, other than tray table custody, I think we may have ourselves a minivan.
Not so fast, folks. I believe you know my client.
Timmy?
Yeah.
The all-new 7-passenger, something for everyone Honda Odyssey. It's one big happy minivan.
If you quit before the finish line, you lose, right?
Right.
That's my problem with ordinary pain relievers. They go for a while, then quit. Good thing there's a leave. A leave's the one with the strength to go all day long with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. Look, if your pain reliever quits before the finish,
Lose it.
lose it and try a leave. 2 pills, all-day relief, works for me.
You may be surprised who's drinking Ensure. Healthy people. Why? Because to help you stay healthy, you have to eat right. For the times you can't eat nutritious foods like these, drink Ensure. With the essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish. Ensure is a source of complete balanced nutrition to help you stay active and energetic. Drink Ensure. And drink to your health.
CBS Friday, when one of the Magnificent Seven has to bust his own mom.
You should know better than to steal.
It sparks a family feud.
You skunk.
An all-new Mag 7. Then, Don and Cheech bring in a snitch, search for a missing politician.
Governor of California.
And help out a call girl.
You dropped your soap.
All new NASH, CBS Friday. Chuck Norris has a secret weapon. In fact, he has 2. The next generation of justice never looked so cool. Sons of Thunder, CBS Saturday.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
I've had an IRA account at Schwab for over 15 years now, and I use Schwab.com to manage it. I found it very easy to buy my no-load mutual funds through it, and I also look after the joint account for my wife and myself. I have a sister who's prefer to have me manage her account, and I do that. And I use Schwab.com all the time. Makes it very efficient in terms of use of time. And I think they're all happy with the results.
You see a secure site. At Sprint, that's how we see the internet. After all, a corporate secret isn't a secret if everybody can access it. That's why Sprint's advanced internet services have the secure links you need. Fact is, nobody offers more levels of managed security than Sprint. That way, your private information can stay private until you're ready to share it with the world. Because business runs on data, and data runs on Sprint.
If you sing like an angel, but do it without love, you'll never rise above the crowd. If you chase after goals but forget your heart, you'll always be answering to someone else. If you follow the same path without trying another, you'll just be left wondering. If you drive a sports car but do it without passion, you're not driving an Integra from Acura.
Does some of this belong to you? Evening Magazine tomorrow.
I'm doing this to save my life and my family's life.
Today is the day that Barry Cruz hopes will change his life.
That's the only reason.
He's getting ready to travel across the country to get a doctor to write him a prescription to relieve his chronic back pain.
I've sat in front of doctors with tears in my eyes begging for help.
That's right. He can't find a single doctor around his home near Seattle, Washington to help him.
Morning.
So he's going to Virginia.
I know there's several medications out there that are available that I haven't even had the opportunity to try.
And though his pain is relentless,
every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What really hurts is knowing there is a solution just beyond his grasp.
It's absolute insanity that I have to fly 6,000 miles to find somebody that can help me save my life.
The kind of drugs Barry needs are among the most powerful narcotics available, with names like morphine, Lorcet, Percocet. Studies have shown that these drugs are safe and effective for chronic pain sufferers. They don't get high, and they don't become addicted. And yet, many doctors are afraid to prescribe these narcotics. The result, pain specialists say, is that hundreds of thousands of Americans are needlessly suffering. Barry Cruz hopes his suffering is about to be over.
Have you ever taken these before?
Now that he has the narcotics he needs.
It is very sedating.
Okay.
And constipating.
3,000 miles for pain relief. We'll see if it works.
Doctor, is the use of narcotics legitimate, real, good medicine in the 1990s now?
For appropriate patients, absolutely.
Dr. Russell Portnoy of New York's Beth Israel Medical Center is one of the nation's leading authorities on pain treatment.
Is there still a stigma when it comes to prescribing narcotics for people who are genuinely suffering severe pain?
Oh, narcotics are highly stigmatized drugs.
He knows why doctors fear prescribing narcotic painkillers.
If a doctor is accused of prescribing inappropriately, the doctor's license could be lifted, and so their livelihood could be lost.
If you take a couple of aspirin for this, what does it do?
Nothing.
A couple Tylenol, what does it do?
Nothing.
Donald Ober of Alexandria, Louisiana, is worried that his doctor may be the next one to lose his license for prescribing these narcotics.
If something happened to Dr. Feldman, I don't know what I'd do.
Have a seat.
Donald travels 100 miles every 6 weeks to see Dr. Arnold Feldman in Natchez, Mississippi, to get morphine pumped into his body.
All right, you're good for another 5 years or 50,000.
No other doctors would see me. They were afraid of me. They're afraid that they're going to have to give me too much pain medicine, so they wouldn't treat me.
But Donald needs even more narcotics to completely relieve his pain.
I probably should increase Donald's medication.
But Dr. Feldman won't raise the dosage. and he's almost ashamed to say why.
I probably should go to a higher dose and try and get him to 90% pain relief, if not 100% pain relief. And yet I'm afraid to write a prescription.
Afraid because though he's an anesthesiologist trained at Harvard Medical School,
Show me where your pain's located.
Dr. Feldman is under investigation by the Mississippi Medical Board for prescribing narcotics.
Why do you think the medical board's after you?
What they say they believe is that this creates drug addicts. An investigator said to me, "You're fostering addiction." I'm sorry. I said, "I'm not fostering addiction, I'm treating pain."
So far, the board has not taken any action against Dr. Feldman.
I am in the crosshairs.
But he's sure it's just a matter of time.
And somebody wants to pull the trigger.
Because of what happened across the state in Tupelo, Mississippi, to Dr. John McFadden, another pain specialist.
I'll refill your pain medicine, your Tylenol with codeine, and your Ultram.
3 years ago, hundreds of his patients were cut off from their narcotics when the Mississippi board took away Dr. McFadden's license to prescribe strong painkillers.
The board attempted to destroy my practice.
The board said he was keeping inadequate medical records and not monitoring his patients closely enough.
They go and find which of your patients are receiving the most pain medication, then come and take their charts and find reasons to restrict your license.
Do you believe Dr. John McFadden was wronged?
From what I know now, I do think that he was wronged.
Dr. Portnoy has reviewed Dr. McFadden's case.
What did you see in that case that troubled you?
Well, I think that the way that the board handled the McFadden case seems very uninformed.
The Mississippi Medical Board declined to speak to 48 Hours on camera about the cases of Dr. McFadden and Dr. Feldman.
I'm afraid because the board has an axe over my head. And if they swing it, then my head's going to come off. And then Donald will have zero pain relief, which I think for Donald would probably, he would seriously contemplate ending his life.
I really would. I will not go back to what I was.
Barry Cruz knows that feeling very well.
If it weren't for my faith in God and my family, I probably would have taken the decision a lot of other people have taken it to end it.
That was Barry 2 weeks ago. Now,
ready to go for a walk?
After a 6,000-mile journey to get his narcotics,
it's amazing.
He's back at his home near Seattle.
I want people to know that when I take this medication, I don't get high. I don't get a buzz. I don't get euphoric. I get normal. That's what makes me normal. I don't have this forest fire of pain going on in my back and these nails through my feet.
That better?
I can function. I'm alive. I've got hope. I'm living. It's just amazing that a person would have to go to the lengths that I did to save my life.
Fire-eating Torture King style. Still to come. You may be surprised at what this man can teach you.
Skewer number 1.
About controlling your pain.
I've changed the way I'm perceiving it, changed the way I'm thinking. I'm going to set my mouth on fire.
Next.
AIDS has killed millions, but now there's new hope. See how historic tests could be the first steps in defeating HIV. Next on Channel 5.
8 hours behind this counter and my feet are tired and achy.
Now relieve tired, sore, achy feet with the soothing power of Johnson's Foot Soap. This exclusive 3-ingredient formula is activated in warm water. For a warming treatment that gives triple action relief that penetrates, soothes, relaxes.
My feet feel rested and refreshed, and they don't ache anymore.
Johnson's Foot Soap gives soothing triple action relief that lasts.
I'm gonna live forever.
I'm gonna ruin your shirt. Stay. Baby, remember my name.
The amazing new Maytag Neptune washer. With its Turbo Clean Wash system, it actually has the power to remove stains.
Say goodnight, stains.
I wanna live forever.
Now in a super stack.
Makeup is just a cover-up? That's so yesterday. But makeup that softens little lines? That's today. That's new Visible Lift by L'Oreal. The magic is Pro Retinol A in a makeup. So as it really covers those little laugh lines, It really helps them disappear. New Visible Lift by L'Oreal. So now when I put on my makeup, the years don't come back. Now that's a visible lift. I can see it, I can feel it, and I'm worth it.
So many reasons to come to Pier 1. Comfortable, casual, and beautiful. The Pampa Sofa, only at Pier 1, and only $575 right now.
That's the reason. What's so hot about Hot Pockets?
Crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
Hot Pockets has an oven-baked taste right from the microwave, so your favorite Hot Pockets fillings are inside a
Crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
every time.
What are you gonna pick?
Crispy, crusty, tender, flaky crust.
Some things up here are shocking. Some things which happen on this stage have been known to make people faint.
It's kind of a circus of the scars.
I promised you I'd eat this.
And Zamora, the torture king, is living proof that we can withstand pain. A lot more pain than we think.
Fire-eating torture king style.
Yes, he eats fire.
He goes down the throat, down the esophagus.
He swallows swords. And he even walks barefoot on broken glass.
Okay, okay.
The real trick is that he lives to tell about it.
Do you like this?
I like entertaining people. I like the performance.
I understand that. And you like it. Frank Sinatra liked entertaining people, but he didn't stick needles in his nose.
Skewer number 1.
Most of us will do anything to get rid of our pain.
Number 2.
Not Zamora. He embraces pain, just for the fun of it.
You were eating fire when you were 15?
Yeah. I'm gonna set my mouth on fire.
So about the time most guys were out dating girls, you were eating fire?
That would be correct, yeah. Well, we got to pack the van. Light bulbs for eating, torches for eating fire. A meat cleaver.
When he's not on stage, Zamora is Tim Cridland.
Bit of nails.
A 34-year-old bachelor who lives in Northern California. A regular guy who does the most irregular things.
I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it through not only my skin, but through the muscle as well.
Even though you're probably tempted, please, don't try this at home.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me a question.
What the hell is the matter with you?
Nothing's the matter with me right now, in fact.
That doesn't hurt?
It's not causing me pain.
Right through the very center of the bicep.
The reason it's not causing him pain is that Tim Cridland, Zamora, has mastered a complex technique that lowers his blood pressure and relaxes his muscles, which virtually eliminates the pain and, incredibly, the bleeding too.
No blood and no pain.
But in case you're thinking this is just some kind of freak show, consider this. Zamora, Tim Cridland, is not abnormal. Physiologically, he's just like you and me. And he's not doing tricks. He really is sticking needles through his body and swallowing real swords. So, if an otherwise normal guy can figure out how to deal with pain like that, what's the lesson for the rest of us who have more traditional, less exotic kinds of pain?
All right, I'm going to go through, right through the skin.
What do you think? What do you honestly think when you see this?
Oh, I think it's awful, personally.
But as a scientist?
As a scientist, it's a fascinating phenomenon.
He is Dr. Kenneth Pelletier of the Stanford University Medical Center.
On the EEG...
25 years ago, he did a study of people who found ways to deal with severe pain.
One person was tortured in a concentration camp and learned to control pain to survive. Now, what I'd like to do at this point is to ask Jack to close his eyes. When they entered into a state of deep relaxation, I'm going to ask Jack to place a large knitting needle completely through his left bicep. Their central nervous system would not respond as we would normally expect people to respond to that degree of pain.
A year ago, Dr. Pelletier helped start up a pain clinic at Stanford.
Relax your jaw muscles.
Using biofeedback, meditation,
close your eyes slowly,
and hypnosis to help patients control their suffering.
When we've had patients now using these methods, they would always say they continued to feel the pain, but it was not a sharp, distracting, debilitating pain.
So there is such a thing as mind over matter?
It's not mind over matter as much as it's mind and matter in interaction.
These swords are very sharp.
If he can do that, what can we learn from it?
For individuals, that can actually be an inspiration. Individuals who have usual chronic pain or even acute pain can learn to do the same thing.
Well, let's take a look at my back.
I'm showing you in a very extreme way. There are parts of your mind that you don't access. You're capable of doing more than you think you can.
Now there's a remedy for pain we should all learn to swallow.
Well, that's a good bit further than you or I might go, but it does make a point. Consider that in nearly every study of pain, a third of patients who only get a placebo still report some relief. That suggests there is something to mind over matter. Pain, say the specialist, is the body's alarm system. It signals there's a problem that needs attention. Increasingly, doctors say it must be treated. If left alone, it can spread. And chronic pain, they're finding out, can rewire your entire nervous system. Most medical schools don't teach their students about managing pain, but more are beginning to at least offer some courses, and some hospitals now include a description of a patient's pain on their chart of vital signs. That's so doctors and nurses will pay more attention to it. It's one thing to be brave and keep a stiff upper lip, but more and more the experts say patients in pain should insist on relief. There's simply too many kinds of painkillers to accept chronic pain as a way of life. That's 48 hours for tonight. We're off next week. Our next broadcast will be a week from Monday. Here's a preview.
I was looking to beat the tar out of him if I could have found him.
One angry reverend.
He's the one who showed up with a gun first and threatened my life.
I wasn't out to get him.
One outraged minister.
He hated anybody and anything that got in his way.
In one ungodly feud.
It just escalated and escalated and escalated.
Bless you.
What drove two men with a calling?
This was the 9mm.
Whoa.
Right to the brink of a killing.
He said, I'll kill you.
Unholy revenge.
I either want him hurt or done in completely.
A week from Monday. I'm Dan Rather. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned now for your late local news. I'll see you again tomorrow on the CBS Evening News. From the University Pain Center in New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on America Online at keyword CBS News.
Tune in for some Late Show laughs with Dave, Billy Crystal, know your current events, and a brand new Top 10. First, your local news.
Now. Coming up in less than a minute, a sinking freighter carrying thousands of gallons of fuel tries to make it into San Francisco.
There are new details about the armed robbery suspect who terrorized the South Bay.
And keeping violent offenders off the streets, authorities go on a criminal roundup in the East Bay.
Plus, testing a potential AIDS vaccine in the Bay Area comes under fire. The news is next.
To carry the weight, to withstand any burden, to provide enduring security takes strength. Strength beyond people's means. It's the financial strength in every life insurance policy New York Life has ever written. Strength is the steel this company was built around. It's what makes New York Life the company you keep.